Hey guys, EC Network here, coming at you with another video. So this past Friday, Tom Ascheim had an interview with Kidscreen discussing a wide variety of topics regarding Warner Media's future, some of which actually has to do with Cartoon Network's future, so I wanted to discuss that aspect of the interview in this video. If you want to read the entire thing about everything Tom Ascheim had to say, I'll leave a link in the description below, but regarding Cartoon Network, Tom Ascheim had this to say. We're still in the midst of bringing Cartoon Network forward to be an even bigger player in the kids and family universe. We're going to be launching a preschool element of Cartoon Network life, a family part of our life, and extending Cartoon Network from the strength that it has to an even wider part of the audience, both on the channel and on the HBO Max around the world. So yeah, Tom Ascheim announced that there's going to be a preschool element coming to Cartoon Network. This is something that I've seen some of you mention to me in the comment section, that there's been discussion about Cartoon Network adding a preschool block, and you know, I was never really a big fan of having preschool programming on a cartoon channel. I just remember back in the day when I used to watch Nick. I used to go on Nick, and I remember at certain points, I think it was until like 10 a.m. at one point, there would be Nick Jr. stuff on the channel, and I remember never really being a fan of that. I always kind of found it annoying how, hey, I'm trying to just watch some cartoons here, and all that's on is some preschool stuff. I don't know, I was personally never a fan of them doing that, but from a business standpoint, it does make some sense, because you want to kind of get people watching Cartoon Network at an early age, so that as they grow older, they'll then want to watch your shows that are targeted towards, teenagers and, kids is from 6 to 10 or whatever. They're getting people to come in as a preschooler, so then hopefully the hope would be that you would then stick around to watch it through your whole childhood and into your teenage years. I think that's what they're thinking from a business standpoint. In addition to this, later on in the interview, Tom Ascheim discusses how the network's always been targeting boys from the ages of 6 to 11, and how he wants to expand that to get wider audiences, one of which being, like I said before, he wants to get preschoolers to be on the network by having a preschool block. In addition to this, he says he wants to have more of a focus on bringing shows in for a female audience, so that they could then have a much more wider variety of programming on the channel. To me, it seems like there's going to be a bit of a focus going forward on trying to just get as many different people onto the channel as you possibly can. For the past decade, I want to say, Cartoon Network has pretty much been comedy only. There hasn't been much of anything else but comedy on the channel, and so it seems like that's going to change going forward. So now later on in the interview, towards the end, the interviewer asks what's next, and Tom Ascheim says we will be rolling out a brand new name for the preschool and family block, we'll unveil some programming, a new tagline, and a big pipeline, and we'll explain how it moves forward between the network and HBO Max. We're going to reimagine the network within a year of when I started, and I feel very proud of that accomplishment. He then asks the interviewer, what is the goal for the next 5 years from now? Tom Ascheim replies, world domination. So yeah, he seems to have some pretty big plans for Cartoon Network. Just breaking down that statement, it seems like, first of all, like I said, we're going to be getting a preschool block, and we'll see what that is all about coming soon. We'll see what the hours are. I hope it's something that's, I would personally think a preschool block should be like from 6 to 8 a.m., the latest to 9 a.m. I don't want to see it being on till 10 a.m. like it used to be on Nick back in the days. But he says we're going to unveil some new programming. Awesome. We all want to see more Cartoon Network originals come to the channel with different genres, different styles, and all that good stuff. He says we're getting a new tagline and a big pipeline. So that makes it seem like we're getting a rebrand. I made a video on this recently. Does Cartoon Network need a rebrand? Is a rebrand coming? And it seems like there is going to be some sort of a rebrand for the channel. To what extent, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see on that. I would think basically everything is going to change but the logo. They might change the logo still. I said this before. I personally think there is nothing wrong with the current logo. They might change it. If they do, okay, cool. If they don't, I'm fine with that as well. But I do think pretty much everything else about the channel is about to drastically change We're going to get some new slogan. We're going to get some new bumpers. We're going to get a whole new Cartoon Network coming soon. And he says that the whole network is going to be reimagined within a year of when he first started. He first started in July. So basically by next July, by this coming July, which is, like 5 months from now, the network's going to be drastically different. And I'm honestly looking forward to see what they're going to do. Tom Ascheim says his goal is world domination for 5 years from now. That's some pretty big aspirations, to say the least. They want to be the world dominators of the kid industry, I guess, which I would argue they were back in the day. Like 10, 15 years ago, Cartoon Network, in my opinion, was the place to go watch cartoons. And it seems like Tom Ascheim wants to get back to that. Will he do it? I don't know. I'm just really curious to see what kind of shows they're going to greenlit going forward. What kind of shows are we going to be getting on the channel? Are we going to see a resurgence of action shows coming to the channel? Tom Ascheim, like he said before, he wants to get a wider audience coming to the channel. Could we see more action shows coming to the channel? Could we see a resurgence of them? Could we see different types of shows? I don't know what else could be coming back. Maybe he decides, hey, let's bring back some older programming in new forms like Galactic Kids Next Door and stuff like that. I don't know. Honestly, just from this statement alone, there's a pretty optimistic outlook on the future of Cartoon Network, and I'm honestly really looking forward to see what they have in store for the next couple of months and over the next 5 years. Anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about all of this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.